What's going on YouTube? Raj here, and today I'm back with a review on an eau de toilette from the house of Tom Ford. This is Tom Ford Extreme, and this fragrance is part of Tom Ford's designer range, or the from the signature line. The fragrance comes in one size and one size only, and it will cost you £80 for full retail, £80 for a 50 ml. So this is, the most expensive in his designer range. Let's have a quick look at the packaging here. Nice bottle actually, nice dark amber colour here, with your standard square in the front there. This one is gold, like black orchid. The cap, anything which is gold like this and plastic, it just comes across to me as pretty cheap, and that's exactly what it is. The sprayer works fairly well. In terms of notes, I couldn't find a note pyramid here, so I'm just going to read off a list of notes which I found. Top notes: basil, coriander, chamomile, cardamom, cinnamon, and lemon. Going into the heart of the fragrance, you're likely to come across black plum, violet leaf, cedarwood, sandalwood, saffron and thyme, with some black fig in there also. And in the base you may come across rum, vetiver, caramel, vanilla, black truffle, fir balsam, a leather accord, they're calling it, amber, and finally patchouli and incense. So a really long list of notes in there. And one thing you may have noticed from that list is that a lot of them are quite dark scents, and that's something I'll touch on a little bit later on in the review. So in the top notes, what I get from this fragrance is it's quite fruity, probably coming from the black plum. It's also quite like a dessert, like an alcoholic fruit combination. I know rum is in the base note, but sometimes base notes I pick them up from the start, which is a little bit odd. What I also get from here is a touch of spice and a touch of violet leaf as well. Violet leaf is something which I didn't really know too much about. I don't think I've ever come across violet leaf in real life. I've only come across it in Dior's Fahrenheit and the Fahrenheit range, and it's definitely that element in here. It's quite obvious, but everything in this fragrance is quite well balanced, but it's almost too well balanced. This fragrance is called Tom Ford Extreme, and I just watched a video actually from Katie Puckrick, which I've seen before, but I watched it again just before filming. And something she touched on as well, that this is not an extreme fragrance. It's probably the worst name you could give to this fragrance, because yes, there are dark notes in there, and the incense and the burnt woody smell which I'm getting from the cedarwood, which is actually quite intense. Not that intense. It doesn't become anything too much. This is not an extreme fragrance. But take that away, and what you're left with is a scent on the top note which left me feeling slightly nauseous, and that's a little bit strange, because I thought when I tried this for the first couple of times, this is an odd feeling I'm getting, but I do get it several times when I wear this. It's a little bit strange, and I don't know whether it's because it's the citrus and plum mixture in there. Even though the fragrance is well balanced, I don't think the citrus note in here was necessary. Citrus is quite fresh and lively, and everything else in here, incense, patchouli, rum, cedarwood, these are all darker scents, so it sort of feels out of place. That then does calm down a little bit, and what you get really here is a sort of a chocolatey scent in there, mixed in with the vetiver, which is quite smooth. The burnt wood smell, which is probably the most intense part of this fragrance, and intense, it's not, the most intense scent you'll ever come across, but that starts to mellow down, and this is the problem with this fragrance. After about 4 hours, everything mellows down, to the point where there's not much longevity in this fragrance, and it's actually a little bit underwhelming, because everything in here promises so much. When if you listened to the note breakdown, it sounds promising, but I think it underdelivers. And the reason I say it underdelivers, not because the scent is bad. I don't mind if a fragrance doesn't last for a huge amount of time. I mean, to be honest, I would want a minimum of 4 hours. Here I get 4 or 5, which is pushing my limits. But the problem I have with this fragrance is the price. it's not worth £80 at all. If you can get this at a discounted rate, just go for it, because I would definitely recommend this scent or this fragrance, but not for the price. It's overpriced. It's quality, but it's not that good quality. You know, for this type of pricing, you're talking about niche quality here, and there are better fragrances out there on the market. I almost feel that there are too many ingredients, like they were trying to do something groundbreaking and so intensely masculine that they almost added in too much. Sometimes in a fragrance, some of the most stripped back fragrances and simple fragrances are the best. Nothing in here is making it too complex, because it just doesn't go on long enough to make it a complex fragrance. It promises and starts off really well, and maybe your mileage may vary, to be honest. I get 4 or 5 hours, and I've tried this in all seasons, and this is best used in the winter, autumn seasons, colder weather fragrance basically. In terms of my rating, I'm going to give it 7.5. I think that's a fair score. It's just the longevity and the pricing issues, which is a shame because the fragrance does smell good. So yeah, longevity, pricing, it's got the wrong name, but it smells good. I definitely recommend it, but get it at a discount, to be honest. So that's my review of Tom Ford Extreme. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.